what's happening, guys? Late one for you, but it's always 4:20 somewhere, and apparently it's 4:20 right now over in Las Vegas and a couple of other places there across the US. Who we got out there in the hot box, guys? Get your comments in. Say hello. Who's up at this fine hour? If you don't already know, tomorrow is going to be the big day. Well, today is the big day, I suppose. Today is the 21st, so D-Day or Court Day, more aptly, I suppose. For myself, going to be in court in a couple of hours, facing up to a judge who's holding my freedom in their hands. It's a gammy situation to be in, but I put myself there, and I suppose for good reason. Where's me ball? The reason being, and a lot of people, I suppose, would think it's just about cannabis. This guy's doing this for cannabis, but it's more than cannabis, really. Like, it's fucking each of our own individual freedoms that I'm standing up for here. Like, our individual freedom to choose for ourselves, to be able to choose whether we want to consume cannabis or not. You know, that's an individual freedom. That's a choice we should be able to make for ourselves, and it shouldn't be one that a government is making for us and putting in place policies that makes our streets even more incredibly dangerous, something that we'll touch off of there in a couple of minutes. You know, but it's about freedom. Like, it's not about cannabis, because like where does it stop? Like, if we allow them to continue with this, you know, it's health based. Like, what's next? Like they put a sugar tax on us. But now next it's going to be, no, we're just going to get rid of sugar or something. Do you know? What is it going to be? It's going to be a drink limit. You're going to have to get a card scanned, and you're only allowed a certain amount of alcohol in a month. You know, what is it? Like, is it going to be fucking BMI checks? Do you know? See if you're getting a bit tubby there around the edge, increasing your risk of heart attacks. Do you know? Are we going to allow the government to go that far, or take away that much freedoms? It's not just about cannabis, guys. It's about so much more. So yes, I'll be up in court, challenging the system, I suppose. As I said, I'm not too sure how it's gonna go. I'm pretty optimistic, I suppose, in terms of, like, I don't think I'm going to prison. I really don't. But we'll see. I don't think I'm going to have a jury there present tomorrow, so I've been talking to a couple of people, and there could be a request for a trial by jury made. Again, look, I'm no legal expert. I don't know this system at all. I'm literally a person who's just fighting for his freedom, and doing everything that I can, really, to get that. Nah, not just for me, for everybody else too, hopefully. Hey, what's happening out there, Mackie? Says, the fuck is this, a bit late, bro? Yeah, man, mighty late. Been meaning to get on a bit earlier. Been sitting here procrastinating, thoughts running through my head, just playing over the game for tomorrow, I suppose, really, because that's what it feels like, a little bit of. It's a fucking horrible game. But we'll blaze one up there anyway. What's happening, Bobby? Yo, bro. Nice one. Apologies there to anybody who was expecting me to be on there yesterday. I was after telling people that I would be on with you, Mackie. You can blame Mackie there. Give Mackie some shit there in the hot box. That's if you want. Otherwise, tell him you're looking forward to see me on tomorrow night with himself and a couple of others for a Christmas sesh. I'm fairly confident I will be on with you too, Mackie. Yeah, I really can't see myself being dragged off in cuffs tomorrow. It'd be fairly shit if to do, because we're going all out tomorrow. And normally it's just myself showing up in court, but tomorrow it's actually going to be the whole family. The whole family will be actually going to court there tomorrow. My whole family, in terms of my partner, soon to be wife, and kids. You know. Oh, Mackie saying Jordan River and Brian and Marco should be joining us too. It'll be a good sesh. Nice. I'm drinking some Stone Cold tea here. As I said, I've been procrastinating, but the tea is still Still tasty. Scanus, what's happening? What's happening, my man? Girls only, Dad. Stop with the faces. uh, Teresa says, morning, happy solstice, Martin. Oh, yes, that reminds me. It is a solstice day today. It's the shortest day of the year. Thank God for that. Can't wait for it to be over. uh, just court day. Like, it's so shit, like, actually having to go to court. I don't know if any of you out there have actually had to go through it, to show up in court and to go through the whole rigmarole of waiting for your name to be called, and then you go up. There's an anxiety there to it. There's a stress there to it, and it's not just there on that day. It's there on the lead up to it. As I said, I've been out here in the studio for the last nearly 2 hours, just running her over in my head. I've been meaning to go live here since 10:20. That was 2 hours ago, over 2 hours ago. And I just couldn't get out of my head. I was just stuck in there, running her over, having these conversations with my solicitor, I suppose, having conversations with the judge, and just playing out different scenarios. It's a horrible place to get stuck in, but that's what prohibition does. That's what fucking being criminalized does to you. And for what? For cannabis? Like seriously, they say this stuff is illegal because it's bad for you, it causes psychosis, schizophrenia, or whatever. But come on, look at the effects that criminalizing a person does. Like, and I'll get to it in a minute. Like, there's some judge in one of the stories that I'm going to touch off it there in a little bit. He makes a claim that like over 5% of people who use cannabis go on to develop schizophrenia. Outlandish claim, pulled completely out of his arse. Like, but I can definitely say that 100% of people criminalized for personal use of cannabis has been caused stress, unwarranted stress and anxiety, which fucking knocks time off of your life. Do you know, they want to say smoking a cigarette knocks a couple of seconds off of your life. Well, having to deal with the stress and anxiety of facing a court where a judge can take away your freedom over simply possessing a bit of plant material, that's going to knock some time off your life. Like, it's not good for you. So yeah, Bobby says American family will be there in spirit. Nice one, Mr. O'Brien. I really do appreciate that. And yeah, all of the other support that's come in there over the last couple of days, guys, I really do appreciate it. I know there's a couple of people going to be making the effort to come down there as well on the day to show support in the morning. So for those people as well, shout out to Ashton and a couple of others there as well, I believe. Going to be making the effort to get down there, show the support at the court. Much appreciated. I've said it several times to them. There's no need to be putting yourselves out. But if people do want to show up there tomorrow, Dungarvan District Court or Circuit Court for myself actually, but it's the same building effectively. So yeah, see you there hopefully, but no pressure. Darren Mitchell says fair tax next. Good luck in court. Nice and Darren. Hi and Homegrown says, yeah man, we're all thinking about you, bro. Let us know as early as possible how it goes, man. Yeah, well look, the plan is I'll be live in the morning outside of the court. As I said, I'll have the family there with me, the partner, the kids. So we'll do a bit of a live there outside of the court before we actually go in. Then I'll be giving my phone, obviously, to and my belongings to my partner. Just God forbid some fucking monster of a judge turns around and actually decides to imprison me. She'll know my passcodes, and there'll be instructions there to put up a post if God forbid that happens. But most likely, 99% sure, I'll be walking out of that courtroom one way or another, a free man, tomorrow. But and then I'll just go live myself and give an update as to what happened. Now, my expectation is I'll be requesting a jury, as I was saying earlier, and this could be put off to another date, potentially. I wouldn't mind having a jury there to make this argument in front of a jury, to see if there's any benefit to it. Again, look, I'm not a legal expert, but I definitely like my prospects more by being tried by a jury of my peers made up of citizens. rather than a judge who's kind of got a bit of a vested interest there in upholding the status quo. Guys, this is a CBD joint, exactly. Like CBD, there, Darren Mitchell says this helps his mum with dementia. Like CBD doesn't even get you high. It's a low THC product. It's effectively hemp flower. If you wanted to be technical about it, like hemp is a plant that's got less than 0.2% THC, technically within at least the European Union. I believe there is certain states within the European Union that actually allow hemp to contain more than 0.2% THC. But I don't know if those varieties are actually registered on the European list. It's been a while since I looked at that list, actually. Note to self, check European registered hemp varieties list for updated varieties. Oh, excuse me. Bit of a delayed one there. Shouting in a bucket. Nice one for the love. Seeing all those green hearts coming in, man. Feeling that love heart this evening. Is that support for me, or are you on ease? Out there buzzing with me cousins. Teresa says, I was medicating PTSD with weed, was busted and done for it, convicted, fined. Assholes, I hope it goes better for you tomorrow. Shit, sorry to hear about that, Teresa. If I can, yeah, but don't mind hearing more about how all that went for you sometime. Maybe we can have a chat. Obviously you've put it behind you now. But have you got your license now? You prescribed? You're above in the North, Teresa, aren't you? If memory serves correct, but could be mixing you up with another Teresa. Scatna says, oh my, being at home and the girls the entire day, I'm wrecked. Just having a snack for dinner and a smoked and finishing up there and starting packing flight back home at 7, no time for sleep. Oh jeez, Scat, man. Thank God for the green, man. Helps the body deal with stresses a bit more. You know, keep the homeostasis in order. But yeah, there's just very little you can do, man, for a lack of sleep. Really, like that shit really weighs heavy on the body. So yeah, safe travels and all that. Obviously have traveling home for the Christmas with the family and stuff. So yeah, Merry Christmas to the family. May be a festive, merry one, and no fighting over board games. Yes. Yeah, we've one daughter who will remain nameless, who is a very sore loser. I don't think that this person has ever finished a board game night. Like, it's really bad about it. It's funny. Yes, family board game nights, great crack, especially at Christmas time. And that's something like, fucking, jeez, God forbid, like, imagine I was actually in prison on Christmas Day for a CBD joint, guys. Jeez, guys. Seriously, if that's to happen, I hope people just get up in arms out here and just stage, I don't know, guys, a massive civil disobedience protest on my honor. What I would love for you to do, get a single bud, a single flower, not even a flower, get a joint, just one joint, and all of you claim ownership of it. That would be great. Like a couple, imagine a couple of hundred of people getting done for one joint. That'd be a great crack. But yeah, that'd be an amazing thing to do. Do it on Christmas Day as well for me. Go on, legends. As I said, there's like a 0.1% chance of that happening. Of me going to prison. I full faith in you doing that, supporting me, yeah? Hawk Falcon, what's happening? What's the crack? What happened? Basically, quick update. I marched into a Garda station, police cop station here in Dungarvan, Ireland, and I had a CBD joint. Presented it and said, look, I'd like my day in court because I'm in support of the local business. They got raided there the other night. You had the owner in the cell, and we're not happy, and this is all in supporting it. We think this is a violation of our rights. This is a legal product, and what the heck. Went to court, and long and short, basically got 2-month prison sentence. And I'm appealing that. That's up now tomorrow. So that's pretty much what's going down. Yeah. BS. Total BS. And keep in mind, guys, you know that there was a justice committee that I participated in last 2 years ago, just before this happened. That report was published in December 2022, just over a year ago. Yeah, so that committee was just over a year ago as well. It was the very next day after that committee I got a 2-month prison sentence. And basically, the Justice Committee was meeting to discuss the harmful effects of criminal sanctions for personal possession of drugs. The very first recommendation on the list acknowledged the harmful effects of criminalising a person for um, for personal possession of drugs. You know, ridiculous. It's mad. Like, you know, just the contrast to that. I'm presenting to the government. It was a committee made up of representatives from all of the different parties making up the Irish government, and the opposition. Except I don't think there was a representative for Sinn Féin actually on that committee, if memory serves correct. I'm wanting to correct Shigan, but I don't think Sinn Féin was represented on that committee. But look, anyway, that's not really too important. But that committee, anyway, I presented to it, and they found basically that, yeah, we should be decriminalising drugs, that the harmful effects of criminalising a person, basically it's outweighed, you know, based upon, like, yeah, it's yeah, it's outweighed against what? It's not justified. Basically, there's no justification of it. That the harms that you do, it doesn't justify it. You know, in terms of trying to deter drug use, it doesn't deter drug use. It really doesn't. We see it time and time again. The recidivism rate for drugs is incredibly high. Pardon the pun. Yes, yes. But for fear of being on here all night, guys, I really should get in there and try to get some sleep myself. I have a couple of news stories that I do want to jump through. This is the 420 news, even though the logo is missing from the bottom, actually, just noticed. But not to worry. We've a couple of news stories there just to jump through with you. One of them is a rather concerning one again. You know, when we consider a number of recommendations made to decriminalise drugs, and even like the Citizens Assembly was incredibly close to making a recommendation to actually legalise cannabis. But we look at the situation we're left at here in Ireland, like, and this is a headline recently here in Ireland. A man arrested after a submachine gun and cannabis seized in Limerick. Like, a submachine gun, guys. Like, here in Ireland, all right, in Limerick. Like, I know it's not a new thing, but this is becoming. It's more regular, you know. Guns and cannabis. Come on, these two things shouldn't be side by side, to be fair. And it's only side by side because of prohibition. So a man has been arrested after firearms and 100,000 worth of drugs were seized in Limerick, and this is in a search as part of Operation Tara. Is that thing still going? When's that end, actually? Is it 2024 now? Is it June 2024 she ends? They're going to kill Tara. But yeah, Operation Tara, on Monday, the guards found cannabis herb with an estimated street value of 100,000, along with a submachine gun and a number of rounds of ammunition. Like, seriously, like, there's been a number of people killed here across Ireland as part of gangland associated fucking rivalries going on, and like, here we see it again, and it's cannabis. Cannabis, come on, like, seriously, this stuff. Speak about having a good time, you know, enjoying, socialising, but medicating shouldn't be about fucking having guns. But yes, because of prohibition, unfortunately, that is the situation. The cannabis is going to be sent to the Forensic Science Ireland for analysis. A man in his 30s was arrested as part of the investigation and is currently detained at the Garda station in County Limerick, pursuant to Section 2 of the Criminal Justice Drug Trafficking Act 1996, and he can be held for up to 7 days. And investigations are ongoing, and further updates will follow. Like, a machine gun, guys. Come on. Like, seriously. Yeah. Yeah, nice one, Hawk, anyway, for the wishes of luck there for tomorrow. Blazing Star says thumbs up for Martin. Nice one, much appreciated, guys. But seriously, the government need to wake up. Like, if we want to separate this kind of violence, this bloodshed, from the associated with the drugs trade, you need to regulate the drugs trade. You need to regulate the sale and supply of cannabis and other drugs. The conversation needs to be had, because otherwise we're going to continue to see guns, more killings, more violence, more danger for those not even associated with the drugs trade. You know, you're out on a night out, having a dinner, and next bang, 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 guns go off all around you. Like, you look across the table and your loved one is after getting caught in the crossfire because of some feud going on because of prohibition, not because of drugs. The headlines, bang, will be drug gangs, you know, rivalries, blah, blah, blah. No, none of them will actually call out prohibition. You know, you'll have the likes of Nicola Talent, you want going around selling her book and fucking talks up and down the country. She's another one of these people who's profiting off the bloodshed. She's blaming drug users for the uprise of these drug gangs. She won't call out the policymakers. You know? And is there any reason they're putting her on a pedestal and touring around the country, you know, getting her on all the national airwaves and all of that stuff, like? And then meanwhile, somebody like myself, like, you know, yeah, we'll get him to court and we'll throw him in prison for 2 months. God forbid he starts selling out fucking shows at the Opera House and the Gaiety Theatre or wherever you want Nicola Talent is going there up and down the country. God forbid, if I sold out the Opera House here in Cork, I'd be definitely, by everybody, guys, spark up, go and vape on. No, we won't smoke inside, guys. We won't break the smoking ban. Yeah, we'll respect that one. But if you got a vape, guys, start vaping. Maybe edibles. I don't know. Is there no vaping rule actually in the Opera House? Shouldn't have said that now. They'll never let me in there. Bring your edibles if Martin ever has a show. Pre-rolls for outside. We'll have an intermission and a big smoke up in the at the outside or the main door. You know what a laugh that would be. But yeah, guns and cannabis, guys, shouldn't mix, and it's only because of prohibition. So there you go. We drive on from there, guys, because there's another headline I want to quickly look at with you, and it's boom, up on the screen there now. An appeal was rejected for a man who transported cannabis worth $2.5 million to pay a gambling debt. Excuse me. So again, this individual had racked up a crazy debt. So apparently, as the story goes, he was transporting $2.5 million worth of cannabis, so that's 128 kilos of cannabis, and that was going to clear €13,000 off of his debt that he had accrued from gambling. Now, obviously, that gambling was being done kind of illegally, probably through some sort of fucking, I don't know, what would you call him, like a bookie? Yeah, what would you call a person like a bookies? Yeah. I suppose that is what they're called, aren't they, the bookies, but an illegal bookie. Because I don't think Paddy Power or any of them are going to let you to rack up a €13,000 gambling debt. But this individual anyway was named here and given his address as well. He was found guilty last year at the possession of more than 128 kilos of cannabis for the purpose of sale and supply, and he appealed the severity of his sentence on the basis that it was excessive. Excuse me. Oh, still recovering there from a bit of a head cold that I got there the other week. Yeah, joys of the kids in and out of school. But Miss Justice, anyway, Tara Burns, delivered the judgment of the 3-judge Court of Appeal on Tuesday, rejecting all grounds of appeal. She said that the sentencing judge had made no error in principle in setting a 9-year sentence and found the sentence was not disproportionate. And it says there on February 2nd, then the revenue officials inspecting the freight at Dublin Port using a sniffer dog discovered 2 pallets of cannabis herb covered by portable gas heaters. Gardaí from the National Drugs and Organised Crime Bureau set up a surveillance operation and carried out controlled delivery of the consignment to an industrial estate in West Dublin. At a hearing in the Dublin Circuit Criminal Court last year, Detective Garda Jerome Toomey told Edward Ducey, prosecuting, that a person arrived at the premises before Finglas arrived separately in a rented van, Finglas being the individual, the accused, they named him earlier. So the first person then directed the accused individual and another man to unload the pallets into the rental van, and the accused individual drove the cannabis to the commercial premises in Lusk, County Dublin, where the Gardaí decided to move in and arrest the accused. The cops then found 3 mobile phones in the rented van, including an encrypted phone. The encrypted phone was open and unlocked, and investigators were able to read some of the messages. There were messages referring to 129 bits for collection. So again, there's your 120 kilos. They said 129 bits. So obviously the cops, I'd say, there's an old kilo on the missing there list there, boys. Otherwise, somebody's after leaving them short there in their consignment. Because 129 bits. That's 129 kilos. The cannabis herb they're saying here weighed 128.45. So somebody's cutting. Was it the cops? Was it the source? Who knows? But anyhow, they said the cannabis was worth 2.56 million. After 4 interviews, the accused gave Gardaí a prepared statement in which he admitted moving the drugs, and he said he did so under direction. He said he was told to take the drugs to the second premises and to strip them down. He said he had built up the debt of 25,000 from a gambling problem and was in fear of the people to who he owed the money. Exactly, like this is what I'm saying. This is an illegal gambling kind of operation that was going on there. They allowed this guy to rack up 25,000. These guys knew exactly what they were doing as well. Like when you think about it, if these guys are into dealing drugs and are running an illegal gambling operation too, they're going to see a vulnerable individual like this guy. They're going to let him get into debt, and then they're going to use him like a pawn. So if the story is true of what this guy is saying, and I've no reason to disbelieve the guy, then we're seeing here a vulnerable individual preyed upon by these organised crime guys who've been propped up, who've been presented with a golden opportunity to prey on the vulnerable in our society with prohibition. The sooner we end prohibition, regulate the drugs trade, the sooner we can end silly crap like this. Like these guys wouldn't be able to back their gambling operation, like I guarantee you, if it wasn't for the prohibition of drugs. Because I bet you that's probably what's propping up the gambling operation there. Somebody wins, they need to be able to pay them, and they make that money most likely from drugs as well as from people who lose a lot of money gambling. The court also heard from the accused, heard that the accused had no previous convictions and entered an early guilty plea for the offence. So this guy had no previous convictions and still got 9 years, lousy. His lawyers argued during his sentencing hearing that the accused was identified as a vulnerable person by the more ruthless criminals who exploited this debt and directed the applicant to take possession of the drugs. Boom, it actually says it there at the end of the article. Forgive me for not actually having read that right to the end. But yeah, exactly. Fair play to the journalist. Thing credit to the journalist as I haven't read it. Owen Reynolds. I wonder is that a relative of Peter? But Owen Reynolds there anyway. Credit there. Yeah, if I can tuck the words out of my mouth. But yeah, this guy was a vulnerable individual preyed upon by the organised crime gang. He's spending time behind our bars, like nine years. If he's to spend all 9 years behind bars, guys, that's an average of say just over 80,000 per year. You're talking over $500,000 to lock this guy up for 9 years. Over $500,000. Think of what you could do in society with over €500,000. That's a lot of things you could be doing in society over that period of time for that kind of money. €80,000 a year, that's probably what a doctor an award for the year. What they're paying the doctors, probably two doctors. But anyhow, Blazing Stars, preach, bro. Nice one, Blazing Stars. Yeah, sorry, I ends up ranting a bit too much, but I suppose that's a bit what this is all about. Anybody else out there in the hot box? Just going to quickly see what's being said out there in the hot box. Shine in the bucket. This is the news. Yes, indeedy, it is. Yes, indeedy. It's a late one, guys. Everybody's blazed out there anyway this evening. I know I'm certainly not low myself anyway. But yeah, other things on my mind there for a bit. We here, says Bobby. Good, good, good. It's good to know I'm not alone. uh, we run to Kerry then, guys. We jumped down to Kerry, and I haven't actually read this article myself. I understand. I read the first couple of paragraphs, but I haven't read the entire article. But it's a bit of a brief anyway on what the guards in Kerry, County Kerry, in down in the west of Ireland, west north, the west of Ireland. uh, they seized €750,000 worth of drugs down there. So this is in the period of 2023. So over the course of that year, they've seized €700,000 worth of drugs. So the Kerry Divisional Drugs Unit in Kerry Gardaí have seized 700,000 worth of drugs in 2023, according to Chief Superintendent Padraig Powell, who said that both Killarney and Tralee now have fully staffed teams to fight drugs. They have fully staffed teams to fight drugs. Keep that in mind, guys, alright? This is at a time when, and some of you might, hate me for saying this, but our road policing units, they're understaffed. I believe they're down to half of what they normally used to be, I think was something that was quoted in the media recently. But guys, don't worry. They're fully staffed for drugs anyway down in Kerry. How are they on the road units? Like, I'd be much more concerned about, like, fucking drunk drivers out there on the road over the Christmas period. About people, driving carelessly on the roads. Things like that. Than I would be about a fully staffed fucking drugs team, like, to be fair. Come on, the only big concern about drugs at the moment is the quality of them. The nitrogenes thing that's going on at the moment, that's a massive fucking problem. Like, they need to get their act together on that stuff. Like, but anyhow, John, the world is safe, guys. Kerry's got a fully staffed team to fight drugs anyway. It says in total 176 search warrants were sought in Kerry, and 660 individual searches were carried out in the county. He told the Joint Policing Committee, much of this work is intelligence-led, he had. Rats. Cannabis remains the predominant drug in Kerry. Cannabis accounted for 55% of all drug seizures. So over half of the time of the drugs team down there in Kerry, which is fully staffed, by the way, guys, goes to combating cannabis. Next up comes cocaine at 29%. And over 6% of drug seizures were for prescription drugs, and heroin accounted for 3.8% of the drugs seized. Because they shouldn't be spending any time seizing any drugs, to be fair, unless they're counterfeit drugs. But every one of these drugs should be coming from a regulated source, because guess what, guys? No matter how illegal they are, there's going to be somebody out there who's going to bring them to market and sell them, because there's a demand for them and there's profit to be made. It's just simple. It's as simple as that. You're never going to stop that, and it's been shown to be the case. Like, to be fair, come on. Like, maybe like just stop focusing on this. Go and focus on stuff like child abuse images and stuff like. Let's see if we can make that so illegal that we can stop that from happening. And if we can stop that from happening, maybe we can revisit things like this. Maybe not. But, like, focus on that shit. Have fully staffed teams there for fighting fucking cyber bullying of kids and stuff like that. You don't take that shit serious either by the cops. Like, they brought in a law here in Ireland not too long ago, Coco's Law. I first-hand experience of cops not really taking that shit serious either. It seems like the person actually has to be dead in order for them to actually take the bullying serious, and then they can actually do something about it, which is sick. But anyhow, look, I digress. I go off on a bit of a tangent there, bit of a personal one. But anyhow, figures for the year to date show that 79 instances of possession for drugs or sale and supply, the same as for 2019. There was a decrease in the possession of drugs for personal use by 37%, down from 543 in 2019 to 343 this year. This year's statistics were compared to 2019, as given the COVID pandemic, those figures are the most comparable. Figures also given by An Garda Síochána that's interesting. I wonder if you go to 2020 and 2021, were those numbers up? So if they were to compare like 2023 to 2022, I wonder, is it up? There isn't down. They just went to 2019 because look, it's down. It's down from that year. You'd wonder. Anyhow, figures also given by Garda Síochána to the JPC showed there were 69 detections for driving slash being in charge of a vehicle under the influence of drugs. Inspector Hugh Toomey and Inspector Farrell Powell are in charge of the drug policing in the county. The meeting was told, and Inspector Toomey is tasked with monitoring drug intimidation. Drug intimidation. Like, imagine, like, you know, they actually have units out there tasked with drug intimidation. There's people intimidating people over drug debts. Like, seriously, just regulate the trade already, like. Which Gardaí are aware is happening in the county? Councillor Mikey Sheehy from Fianna Fáil said the lack of Gardaí in the Kerry Divisional Drugs Unit was a concern, but it was great to see such work now being taken on the ground. Mike Kennedy, who will now run for a council put forward concerns to the Joint Policing Committee, the annual public meeting. Again, this fella, like, do you know what I mean? He's running for an election. He's going in. Oh yeah, putting forward concerns there. He's just basically showing his face, getting his name out there, and hoping, you know, that somebody might vote for him because he's been seen to be doing something on drugs. You know, playing the old political football game there because it's an easy one to do. Get behind drugs and I'm being hard on drugs here. I'm concerned about drugs in the community. And just win votes by being pure simplistic about it and not actually getting into the mud and dealing with the nuances there involved with drug use, drug addiction, and, you know, fucking health and happiness around drug use. Shout out to Karl Mark. He asked Gardaí what they were doing about this, the combat drugs. In response, Gardaí said there were regular patrols in the area, and Kerry Divisional Drugs Units had seized drugs locally, including 22,000 worth in Anashgal. Keep in mind, guys, this is a tiny little village there down in the west of Kerry. Down in the west of Ireland, sorry. Down in Kerry. Yeah, so great use of time there by the guards down in Kerry. So again, just to recap, 176 search warrants, 666 individual searches. So in total, there like over 800 searches. Keep in mind, each one of these searches is going to lead to cases. I'd imagine these are searches where they actually found drugs, except the warrants. The warrants, it doesn't matter if they found drugs there or not. But the individual searches, I can guarantee you that there was way more individual searches actually carried out because they don't record all the searches. I know this myself, like, they don't record the searches. They might make a note of it or something along those lines, but they don't record it because you don't get a record of it. There's no record of you being searched. So maybe 666 individual searches. Yeah. So if you were to say that 55% of all drug seizures, yeah, maybe looking at the statistics there now, 343 this year, 660 searches. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Anyhow, getting into the nitty gritty there of it, like, but that's a hell of a lot of human hours that could have been put into much better fucking things, missing people, you know, again, preventing burglaries, murders, rapes, thefts, you know, all of that kind of crack. Well done, guards. Barry, is Martin's on a bit early, eh? Not 4:20 yet. Barry, it's 4:20 every summer, by. Look at that. Where's the 4:20 next? Anchorage, Alaska, huh? And Nome, that's Alaska too, isn't it? Yakutat and Gambier Islands. What the hell's Gambier Islands? Just quickly, I'll have a look at that one. Fucking stoners. Why won't that highlight properly for me? Just type it, Martin, you lazy bastard. Gambier Islands. French Polynesia. Give me some pictures. There you go. Look at it, boy. Shout out to everybody on the Gambier Islands. So what's the population of that place? Two? Looks tiny. Oh wait, there's more in the background actually. 1,500 people. There you go, guys. Shout out to all 1,500 people over there. But main industry is jewelry making of mother pearl. There you go, guys. Stoners and their tangents or easily led astray. That's your fault there, Barry, is it? It is a late one, alright. But yeah, my point was, yeah, it's your fault, Barry, because it's 4:20 somewhere and it's 4:20 in Gambier. Blaze on there in a couple of minutes with the Gambier Aryans. So I wonder what they call themselves. Blazing Stars says, "Are you being targeted?" No, I'm surprisingly not actually. As I said, this case tomorrow, I went into the guard station myself. I'm not being targeted as such, like, so that's surprising. I thought I would be. Honest to God, I thought I would have been like getting like the pants pulled off me a long time ago by the cops on a regular basis because of my protests, because of my activism and stuff like that. But no, and surprisingly, I've been really left alone. Yeah. I don't know, has it been because of that? Am I just been lucky? Am I just been in the right places at the right time to avoid them and not be getting hassled? But yeah, not targeted. Blazing Stars says, look on the bright side, you'll be out in a month. I guess, and then you'll be excluded from having any say. Oh, I won't be going in anyway, that's for sure. Blaze them on here anyway. Civil disobedience for tomorrow. Gotta get a shout out there to Ferg as well over at Cork Herbal Products. I always thinks of him when I'm hitting this bomb. Beautiful gift to get off a good buddy. As Cork Herbal Products is an absolute legend and a big supporter of the show. Ice Snow Wolf Cold, nice one for the follow over there on Twitch. Appreciate it. And the non-conjunctivelic. I've only got one watching, but two of you just started following, so what's happening? Say hi in the hot box. Let us know you're not a bot. Dav23 Stacks says, my description of the war on drugs is a hamster running in a wheel. Hamster is the cops. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, like, but along the way, the hamster is getting snacks because the hamster is benefiting from it, like. You know, where's the drug users who are getting trampled on, you know? are we the poor wheel that gets worn out by the hamsters never ending running? You know, and the wheel eventually has to be replaced with another one and another one because the hamster just never stops running. Because that's effectively what the drug war is going to be. It's going to be a never-ending war until we accept that drug use is a perfectly natural human behavior, you know? And we need to educate people about drug use, how to use these substances in a responsible manner, and what their effects are, and why people will use them, and what can make you at risk of abuse of these substances. Because yeah, you can fall prey to abuse. Addiction is what we call it, and that can be problematic. But there's risk factors there involved, and education about that is very important. So there's a lot to be said there on it, like, but policymakers, they just want drugs are bad, don't say no to drugs, don't get caught with drugs because you're going to prison if you do. And it's great to be a politician too, like, you know, because do you think Leo Varadkar and, you know, his like are going to get stopped and searched? Leo Varadkar, I can guarantee, I can go around with as much cocaine as he wants in his pocket, or poppers. I don't know if poppers illegal actually. Are poppers made illegal now? I can't remember if poppers are illegal now. Are poppers legal in Ireland? Quick search, one second. I don't know where they are. I haven't seen them in oil and Med and stuff. Yeah, poppers are illegal in Ireland. Yeah. So there you go. So do you think they're getting stopped and searched? And I hope the gay community don't hate me like for assuming that he's into that. Like, but come on, the dude is into fucking polygamy, is it? Is he not married to that guy that he's with? I think they're married, and they have like an open relationship. They're into like fucking seeing other dudes. Of course, they're taking some poppers, and you know why wouldn't they do a bit of yayo on the side? Like, you know, come on, like. But do you think he's going to get stopped and searched? No, he's not. But meanwhile, he stands over policies that see me, you out there, the average Joe, the average Mary, get stopped and searched. Ah, Leo the Leak. Yeah, Leo the Leak is right. Sunny Bean says, stealing by the case tomorrow, shite bags. Yeah, I don't trust judges, says Blazing Stars. No, I don't have much faith in them either. Like, one of them gave me 2 months for a CBC joint. Like, you know, didn't even give me an opportunity to make an argument there for myself either. Like, he was just really pissed off that I couldn't show up the first 2 times. Got COVID, had a family emergency, showed up, and he's just like, no, you disrespected me not showing up. I'm going to town on you because you've previously. That's my reason. I see my reason. Now I can go off you. Boom. But anyhow, sorry. We jump on because this one I really wanted to get to, because this was the one that I was talking about there a bit earlier about a judge making some fucking outlandish claims. This is the headline: jail for an Offaly farmer who had drugs worth 730,000 in a truck. So again, here you're seeing a farmer having 730,000 worth of drugs in his truck. So this is the case of an individual who's been named here in this. It's above in South Offaly, and he got 8 years after the Tullamore Circuit Court heard 730,000 worth of cannabis was found in an articulated lorry he'd been driving when he was stopped at Dunkiernan near his home in 2017. So this is a bit of a lengthy article. I have read it in its entirety, but basically the cops had got some intelligence here on this individual that he's going to be travelling back into his hometown with a consignment of drugs, and they mounted a surveillance operation, and they monitored his truck as it made its way back into Ireland, and they pulled him in near his home. They carried out an extensive search of his truck over the course of a couple of days. And it took them a couple of days to find the drugs. They found nothing in the vehicle, and they found these steel containers then after a couple of days of having the truck. And after they drilled into the steel containers, they found the cannabis inside in there, as well as some cash. Now, it's interesting then, talks about in the article here, there's been arguments made in the court by a representative from the Hauliers Association, stating the facts that, like, you know, these hauliers, they don't see inside in these consignments. Like, you know, a consignment like this, you're given a sealed steel pipe. It's sealed. You know, you're not going to see inside of it. You can't be responsible for what's actually inside of it, is what they're saying. So they're making the case that, like, you know, this guy shouldn't be really held responsible and not be getting such a hefty sentence anyway, for this. So they're going to be lodging an appeal in this case, but the case at the end of it, the judge, when given the sentence, so it talks about here the representative from the Haulage Association, and also a vet, and some other people who've worked with this person. So before I get to the judge, I should actually make note of this. Not only did he have the Haulage Association, which is a pretty big thing for the Haulage Association to show up in court and make an argument there for somebody who's getting caught up in the transport of this. So this guy must be a pretty outstanding guy, despite the fact that he has got previous for the sale and supply of drugs and for the possession of robbed goods dating back to 1996. So he's got a bit of a history, but it's way behind him. We're talking 2023 now. He's running a farm. His brother's running a farm. He's well-to-do in his community. Apparently, just people came forward, like a vet came forward, said he's really good with his animals, takes really good care of his animals, is always really concerned for his animals' welfare, has a very good relationship with his vet. People from the community have put letters there forward to the court talking about, like, how this guy is a very positive guy within the community. He's always kind of helping out where needs be within the community, takes his time out of his own busy schedule to help out, volunteers his time there within the community. Who else came forward? The parish priest came forward and spoke for him. His sisters and stuff that he'd grown up with came forward in support of him. So there was a lot of people actually came forward in support of him. He actually got a letter from the Cloverhill prison staff saying that he was a very good worker in the laundry there, and he was very courteous and polite to the staff. So the prison where he was actually being held came forward and said, yeah, this guy's actually a really nice guy. Yeah, he's a pleasure. He's a really good worker here in the prison and stuff. Like, yeah, he's great. And we're going to lock him up for 8 years because he transported a bit of cannabis. Oh, guys, come on. Like, it's insane. It's insane. It really is. Like, I feel sorry for this guy. But, right, what really pisses me off about this article and why, I wanted to get to the bottom of it and fly through all of that other stuff is what the judge says. The Judge Johnson said that the minimum sentence for an offence of this kind involving drugs that valued at €13,000 or more was 10 years, but he could depart from that in certain circumstances. He noted that the accused had pleaded not guilty and had a previous conviction for a similar offence. The judge didn't like that. So he's like, you're not making this easy for me, boy. I have to go hard on you. He said the amount of and the kind of the drug was an aggravating factor, saying that cannabis was anything but a soft drug. And along with being a gateway to other drugs, 5% of cannabis users went on to develop schizophrenia. Guys, this judge, is an absolute monster. Judge Johnson. Seriously, making these claims, come on, the gateway theory. 5% of people who use cannabis go on to develop schizophrenia. Guys, keep in mind, we've a drugs minister currently who has admittedly used cannabis. Come on, shout out there to fucking Hildegard Nocton. She's admittedly used cannabis back in the day. Doesn't use it today, apparently. She probably, won't say nothing. But yeah, she admitted to using cannabis, but here we have judges saying that it's a gateway to other drugs. 5% of users go on to develop schizophrenia. So apparently Hildegard Nocton is very lucky that she didn't lead to a gateway to other drugs and she didn't develop schizophrenia. But the mitigating factors including the man's cooperation with the Gardaí, his recent embellished record and the impact on his brother, which was a significant penalty in itself. The offence carried a sentence of up to life, but the headline sentence he imposed was 10 years. He gave the man 10 years, with the final 2 suspended in its entirety upon entry of a €500 peace bond for 5 years post-release. So effectively, this man has got a 13-year sentence here, because even if he gets out in 8 years, when he gets out in 8 years, he has to enter into this peace bond for another 5 years. Meaning, I don't know what that actually really means, but I assume it means that if you breach the peace bond, you're going back to prison. Ridiculous. Yeah. So there you go. Anyway, judges making absolutely outlandish claims. No substance there to him, no foundation at all to him, and they're able to just spew this absolute misinformation from their high chair there in the court as if it's gospel. And people will read that as gospel. There's people out there going to read these articles and they're going to see it. It came from a judge. It must be true. And they might repeat it. It's just wrong that it's allowed to happen, in this day and age. I know there's the talks there about tackling misinformation, but the misinformation at the moment is coming from these authoritative sources. Judges, Gardaí, fucking government TDs, ministers, whatever you want to call them. Ridiculous. So there you go. Then one final piece that I want to get to, and this is just another thing that's just pissing me off once I seen this. This is coming from the guys over at Cran. They shared this over on X, that the Health Research Board has granted a whopping just shy of €370,000 of public money to a research project on the harms of cannabis led by none other than the infamous in our community, Professor Mary Cannon. The study aims to inform policy around cannabis use and will conclude in 2026. So they're giving like just shy of €400,000 guys here to a study that's effectively what the study is it says it here in one of these it's here you go, using population based data. So they're getting like fucking nearly €500,000 here to carry out a couple of surveys. That's what they're doing, the surveys. That's basically what they're doing, is surveys, and they're going to interpret the results then of these surveys. So keep in mind, surveys have to be designed. You have to design questionnaires. You know, you have to design all of these different things. So they're going to have a predefined outcome that they're going to want to reach. They're going to interpret. They're going to put their own bias into this, like, and then they're going to interpret the data that's going to satisfy their biases. We know this is going to happen, and they've got nearly €500,000 to do it. Like, it's crazy. So no wonder there's such an effort there on the part of the likes of Mary Cannon to be joining groups like the Cannabis Risk Alliance, to be going over to the likes of New Zealand to participate in campaigns against the legalisation of cannabis. And we're looking here, like, do you know, where is the granting of funds there for studies into the benefits of cannabis? Because I know myself as a person who wanted to go down that road as a researcher, roadblocks. You can't do that. It's a fucking it's a class A substance, whatever they call it, a controlled substance. So you're not allowed access to it to research it. You're not allowed to do any research with it, like. I could do probably this data analysis, but I wasn't really too interested in this. And even that would come with its own barriers, like the stigma there from your supervisors and whatnot. It was just, you weren't getting supportive. But meanwhile, the likes of Mary Cannon and looking at the harms, they'll get up to fucking nearly €500,000. It's crazy. Looking at only the harms. So fair play to Crown for pointing this out and calling it out, bringing it to the public's attention. Mary Cannon as well also got a seat there on the advisory committee by the chair, Paul Reid. They decided to put her on there to balance the board, but really, I think really she was, I think she's too far to put on a board, like, unless you got somebody, as I said, like Willie Nelson or Snoop Dogg to contrast to her, because that's how far along the line on the anti side she is, like, you know. But anyhow, Mary Cannon has been involved in a number of high-profile campaigns against cannabis decriminalisation or legalisation in Ireland and around the globe. In 2019, she claimed the liberal cannabis agenda was being actively pushed from within the government. She also played a leading role in the opposition to the 2020 New Zealand cannabis referendum, appearing on New Zealand Family First YouTube channel, a conservative Christian lobby group. And they share a link here to the website of that conservative Christian lobby group. So fair play to the guys for calling this out. And I kind of read through this there earlier. There's some information there. Obviously, this was put forward by Mary Cannon, I'd imagine. And it says, over the past decade, there's been an increase in the number of adolescents using cannabis worldwide. And this is concerning because cannabis is increasing in strength with more serious long-term effects on health, such as psychosis and depression. But I'm not going to read all of this, but this is a big part of a problem. Like, she's really concerned about high-strength cannabis, regulated, so people can actually know what they're consuming. And, you know, adolescents, do you know, when I was a young person and I went drinking, when I went gatting with the boys, when I went bushing, do you know, when we went drinking, we knew what we were consuming. Do you know, if we got a naggin, we knew only to get one. Do you know, we didn't drink our naggins like we drank our bottles of Budweiser, because that would fuck you up, like, do you know, it really would. But meanwhile, here in today, under model of prohibition, when young people, adolescents that she's claiming to be concerned about, are getting cannabis, they have no choice but to get high-strength cannabis. They don't know. They don't have a choice. They can't go down and ask for a CBG a high-strength CBG strain, something low in THC, because they don't really want to affect the brain too much with THC. But CBG is actually is shown to enhance the natural high. By allowing anandamide, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that word right, but the bliss molecule discovered first by Raphael Melchlom, the Israeli researcher. He discovered THC. Sorry, I fucking lost my train of thought there now. Side effects of cannabis. There was a point to be made there. I was making a point, and I hope I made it. Shout out to Mr. Wes there as well for saying keep up the good fight there earlier and getting in an old tip much appreciated, legend. But yeah, the strength, high strength, yeah, CBG. There we go. I needed a second there just to re-jog the memory. Where was I fucking? Where did I start there? But CBG is shown to allow the natural high from anandamide to just potentiates it. It allows it to go on longer. It basically it deactivates an enzyme. It reduces the activity of an enzyme which would normally mop up this molecule, this bliss molecule, and it allows the molecule just to stay around a little longer, to stimulate those receptors just that little bit longer, for you to experience their pleasantness, their bliss for a little bit longer. Shout out to Scatnist if you're out there in the audience, buddy, because it was yourself actually who inspired my research into CBG. But like, Mary, come on, girl, like, get off your high horse. Like, stop being so fucking I don't know, like, so determined to show the harms, and like, look at this with an open mind, like, because you'd be very surprised at what you might learn. And if you're really concerned for that adolescence, you can really help them. You really could, because look, if we were to say, look, actually, yeah, look, if adolescents are using cannabis, then maybe it's better that, look, we allow them to be able to get access to something like a CBG strains, CBD strains, something like that, cannabis light, and maybe there's a conversation to be had there as well around that with alcohol too, that maybe, yeah, we should be allowing teenagers, people like fucking 16, to be able to have a beer at a pub with their parents, or with an appropriate adult. Maybe that's a conversation to have. I don't know. But again, if you're really concerned about adolescents, making these drugs illegal is not the way to be concerned, to help them, seriously, especially if high strength is your concern. It says the adverse effects of using cannabis are particularly pronounced in those who start using cannabis in adolescence. However, despite the evidence for harmful effects, young people are less likely to view cannabis as a harmful substance, and with that being said, regulate it, because it's not very harmful unless it's coming from the unregulated market, where it could potentially be contaminated, which we've seen. I've seen evidence there lately, guys, of cannabis actually being sprayed again. This person who tried it, they described the effects of being like the after effects being like withdrawals from opiates. This person described that kind of a feeling. So they believe it was sprayed with some sort of an opiate-based drug, because when they actually investigated the cannabis under a microscope, you could see the stuff was caked, absolutely caked. That shit gets into the hands of young people out there, guys. Jeez, I think it's only a matter of time, honestly, before we have a death, from a young person consuming a cannabis edible, air quotes, cannabis edible. It's going to probably contain one of these more harmful synthetic opioids, or synthetic cannabinoids. Ridiculous. But anyhow, look, Mary, yeah, happy payday for Mary. Big celebrations up there, no doubt. She's popping the champagne, slugging down a few glasses of wine. I'd say they're well drank at this stage. Mary's keeled over on the couch now, but red wine smeared all over her face, staining the carpet. Oh, the hypocrisy. It's crazy. Anything else there on this? No, they just finish off then with that notable thing, and yeah, no, that's it. Boo Ireland, boo cannabis prohibition. But there you go, guys. That is the late night edition of 420 News. And geez, I actually just missed 420 there over in the Gambier Islands, Anchorage, Alaska, Nome. First time celebrating 420 on here with you guys. It was 424. We could have blazed up there again just a second ago, but it's 425 now. Yeah. Snooze, you lose. Oh, look at this. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. If I had more news for you guys, we actually have only 25 minutes for the next 420. So this is the hour where you actually have 2 420s in the hour. Or 3 420s in the space of an hour, actually. Yeah. You've the start of the hour, the middle of the hour, and the end of the hour. Boom. That's fucking mad. Bobby, nice one, man. I appreciate that luck, guys. Yeah, going in there tomorrow. Who knows what happens? I'm feeling optimistic, but who knows? Like, fucking, that could be completely misplaced. I don't know. But I'm not really going to think about this because do you know what, guys? Been doing a lot of yeah, getting back into the stoicism and mindfulness and stuff like that. And this is stuff that's completely outside of my control. I took control that day. I walked into the guard station that day, and I took control. And what happens tomorrow? That's outside of my control. So I'm not really going to worry about that right now. I've thought the worst. Yeah, I go to prison. So what? Like, yeah, fuck it. I'll accept it and I'll take it on the chin. I'm prepared. But I'm not worried. No, it's all outside of my control. So why worry? Shouldn't you ever really be worried about stuff that's in your control? And even then, you shouldn't even be worried. Just do something about it if it's in your control. It seems simple, doesn't it? Like, it's easy to say it, but doing it. Boom. Let's plug out the heater here in the studio. But yeah, 23 minutes, the Marquesas Islands, Adak, Alientian Islands, Honolulu. Oh, yeah, buddy. Honolulu. Cook Islands, Johnstone, Atoll, and French Polynesia. So there you go, guys. Shout out to all of those places. Guys, seriously, if the government rejects this thing in January, like this bill to decriminalise up to 7 grams, like it to be fair, like, and as much as I support the bill and I hope it passes, it's pathetic. It really is. Like, it's such a small step, and it's going to do very little to actually combat the problems of the illegal drugs trade. But in terms of, like, just say benefits for the drug user, there is a big benefit there to that decriminalisation, that 7 grams. So if that doesn't get supported and passed in January, guys, January 31st, I believe they're going to be looking at this in the Irish government. It's massive civil disobedience protest, like the very same day maybe. If it's been voted on that day, which I hope it is, it's been voted on that day. If it gets rejected, I'm going to be above there in Dublin on that day in the gallery. Let's do it above in Dublin. A mass civil disobedience. Just march straight from the Oireachtas, the Leinster House, and go straight to the guard station, the nearest guard station, and present the thing. Actually, in saying that, there's probably going to be cops there at Leinster House. Let's just march up to one of them with a joint, a load of us, hopefully. I'll do it myself on my own if I have to. I've done it before. I'll do it again. And just be like, here we go. We've a joint. We've got 7 grams of cannabis here. Which should have been decriminalised. Nah, that'd be an awful shame to give him 7 grams. Nah, let's give him a gram. Oh, it breaks my heart to give him 7 grams. Just roll up the other 6 and then give him 1. And spark up the other 6, and quickly pass them around. Hand them the 1. Oh, yeah. Let's blaze one anyway, guys. Little civil disobedience to end the show here. And we'll start saying our goodbyes. Get your comments into the hot box there, guys, if you want any shout outs there before we finish up, guys. Really do appreciate all you jumping on here at this late hour. It's a good opportunity, I suppose, to get on to a couple of different people who mightn't be available there around 4:20. So a good opportunity for those people to be able to kind of contribute to the live, So shout out to everybody out there. See you on the other side. Nice one. Absolute legends out there, guys. Martin Jesus, don't give up. No, never giving up, guys. Never. Bobby, I have some stuff here actually. I'll do a bowl of it in a minute, and I'll try to get a video for you into the hot box. Some melty stuff. Guys, if you want to see it, that link should be in the description there of the show. The link for the Telegram hot box. It's a private hotbox, but anyone can join it using the link, so keep that in mind. It's private in terms of like it can't be found publicly. People can't just search it. You have to use the link to join, but it is a public link. Anyone can use it to join. You need to comment within 2 minutes when you join, otherwise the bot will kick you out. But yeah, get on over there, guys. Make that family a little bit bigger. We got 112 of us over there at the moment. We have a nice active group there at the moment. Like I'm getting up every morning. Seems like the witching hours, the guys get nice and chatty inside there. I love those Instagram reels there that Bobby's been sharing lately. Like there's some comedy gold inside there. But yeah, that's what the hot box is basically, guys. If you're ever just lonely, sparking one up, and you want to have a chat with other like-minded people, that's what it's there for, guys. We need this. It's good for our head. That's something that's really come back for me from the people within that community. Is it's really given them a sense of a community, and that's really kind of helped them an awful lot. Like, and I know it's helped me, guys. I really do. I always said that about like the protests, going networking at the protest. That's always been great, and having those like-minded people. But it was once a year we were protesting. 420 we protested. It was over. This podcast, starting up this podcast, the community that we got around this podcast, fucking love it. It's yeah, epic. B Mooney says, give it to him some of that spray dog that's going around. Give them some of that spray dog that's going around. Maybe they'll see how contaminated it is and regulated for everyone's health. Yeah, wishful thinking there. Oops, only realised there I had my analytics, the stream health up there in the background. I was just kind of go over there to see the live comments coming in on the YouTube, as sometimes this fucking Streamlabs can lag. And shout out the shoots, grab your parachutes. I know you've sent me over some stuff to integrate there to make my chat better, but I've still not integrated it, man. Sorry, I'm such a technical, illiterate person. I just like the simplicity of press and go. Yes, but good night, everybody. I see some people checking out there, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. Teresa says, I'll tune in the morning, see how you're getting on. Keep raising the profile, keep fighting the good fight. Best of luck tomorrow. Guys, I really do appreciate the support. Keep liking and sharing this as well, guys. Spread the word out there. Get over to the 420 News blog as well. I've updated the piece there on the case for tomorrow. So give that a share around there as well, you know, and share your opinion along with that as to why you support my campaign, my civil disobedience, and hope that I don't get locked up. But I do appreciate the support all the same. Scatness, what's happening, man? He says, a splendid show. All the best tomorrow. Much appreciated, my bud. Blazing Sarah says, just ask the appeal judges to see sense. Yeah, fingers crossed they do, you know. Fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. If I have to go to prison, guys, just know I'm prepared. But it is a protest. The protest does continue, and when I do get locked up, I do need yourselves, guys. I know I said earlier I would request people to go and engage in civil disobedience and what have you, and all this, but guys, honestly, just a massive online campaign, like just every single day, relentlessly, just get it out there. Engage with your local newspapers, engage with your local radio stations, anybody, everybody, annoy the shit out of them, and please. I don't want to be locked. I'm prepared to be locked up, but I don't want to be locked up. There's a massive difference there, guys. So don't pick me up wrong. Or I don't want to be locked up. I really don't. I don't do well inside it, or I really don't. But I'm prepared to do it. I really am. So yes, guys. The non-conjuring. What's happening? He says, you do questions and answers. Shoot, man, shoot. Get it in there. Because look, yes, I do. I just answered your question. Yes, it's good to see comments coming in there from Twitch. You'll get a fine, hopefully. Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. Alright, is that I'm most likely going to get a fine. But guys, I'm not going to pay a fine. I'm really not. And that means that they're going to want to bring me to prison. Like, keep in mind, guys. I don't know, should I be saying this, or the authorities watching this right now, but I actually have a fine that I've not paid, €400 for a cannabis conviction dating back to 2019. I've not paid it. 2019, we're in 2023 now. They sent me two letters, one in 2022, saying that, you better pay this or we're going to come for you. They gave me another one this year, and they've done nothing. They just sent me two letters. So, start of this year. They've done nothing. I've been to court and everything, and they've done nothing. They can't put me to prison. I checked the prison numbers. All the prisons are full. If they're not over full, they're nearly full. They can't be affording to put people in there. So, yeah. What year did the Berlin Wall fall? Do you know what? I loved history. But when it came to my exams, do you know why I done so bad? Is I could never get dates right. That was the one part of history I sucked on. I could get a lot of the details right, but dates, I was always so bad with dates. You're not going to jail for a joint. That's what I hope anyway, But if I do, guys, think of that, in the media, a headline, like, father of four, Christmas week, prison for less than a gram of hemp flower. Hemp flower, that's effectively what it is, if you want, again, if you want to be technical, hemp flower. That's the headline. That's what I would like to see running. Father of four, Christmas week, imprisoned for less than a gram of hemp flower. We get a GoFundMe going for you, says Bobby. Yeah, I want loads of Swiss rolls inside my when I was inside for 5 days, I keep going on, and I was supposed to sign off there 5 minutes ago, but when I was inside for 5 days, I found it so funny that the lads, they had busters, gambling, because they weren't allowed gambling with tobacco anymore inside in the prison when I was in there. Do you know what they were gambling with? Swiss rolls. Oh, it was so funny. Yeah. But there you go, anyway. When did the Berlin Wall fall? Come on, I got Google. Like, when? Before I Google, I'm going to say 1989, the year I was born. Yes! Woohoo! Yes! What a guess. I knew it was the year I was born. I knew there was something about that when I was thinking it there. But there you go. When did the Berlin Wall fall? 1989. And I did guess that before I searched it. Oops, sorry. Put up my hot box thing. Hitting all the wrong buttons. But there you go. Good at guessing. It's not that easy to answer some trivia questions. Blazing Sarah says, try bring mention of Scrooge in your defense. Judge, please don't be Scrooge and punish the cannabis community on Christmas. Find in our favour. Don't punish me today. Yeah, it's a big case, to be fair. The judges could send me to prison, if they wanted. If they fine me, I'm not paying the fines. Will I be cheeky enough to say that in the court? I probably won't. My family's going to be there. I really don't want to go to prison. If they fine me, I'll let them get me later on. I'll walk out of court. I'll say nothing. I'll bite my tongue. I won't be able to hold it. The fucking thing will slip. I'll bite it. But yeah, I'll take the fine. I'll walk away that day, but I won't pay it later on. I'll just leave them have to come for me then afterwards. Yep. I Snow Wolf. We got two of you over there watching now. What's happening? So yeah. Let's see what happens anyway, guys. I better go hit the hay because I got an early start in the morning. I'm going to be back up at freaking in 4 hours. And actually, I'm going to be up in 4 hours and 20 minutes. It's 20 to 2 now. I'll be up at about 6. 4 hours, 20 minutes. Definitely going to hit that snooze button a couple of times though. Bobby says we will get the donkeys paid. Sound. AU? No. I was going to say aluminium, but that's not AU. Is it aluminium? Is aluminium actually even an element, actually? Isn't that an alloy? He's getting the stoners in this. I said it a while ago, Barry. I said it to you, Barry. We're easily led. I want to find the answer now. What's AU? Tell me, God damn it. uh, Nice one, guys. Loving the support coming in anyway, guys. Nice one for bearing with me into the late hours of the night. An hour and 20 minutes there of streaming. Much appreciated, guys. It's been an absolute blast. Loving the questions there as well. The nun conjuring Velek. Much appreciated for checking in there over on Twitch. It's good to have people checking in over on Twitch anyway. That place to be a morgue. Facebook is a morgue as well. YouTube seems to be where it's at. Will I just cancel this multi-stream subscription and just only stream from YouTube these days? But nah, fuck that. I'm actually streaming on X right now as well. I wonder how many people are watching on X right now. What's my profile? Boom, there we go. It's streaming over there. Yeah, there we go. We're live right now. No viewers. Dead. I was hoping there would be at least one. Oh well. Get off of that. Hide me shame. Only 8:45 here, says Bobby. Lucky you, Bobby. Right. Alright, I'm going to sign off. I'll pack up one more bowl and I'll try to make a video there for you, Bobby, and I'll send it to you in the hot box. Good night, everybody. Typical long Irish goodbyes there, taking like 20 minutes. 1 second, I'm quickly getting this. It's gold. What? That's freaky. Gold. Gold is AU. Why is it AU? Why is gold AU? I would never have got that. Like, I should have probably known that because of something, but it's, yeah. The name is Anglo-Saxon. Gold originated from Latin. Aurum. Ah, AU. Aurum. There you go. Boom. So that's more useless stoner trivia for you there. Gold is AU, guys. Might win you €1,000,000 on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire sometimes. Ah, yes. Yes, Bobby, good night anyway. Blazing Stairs says don't forget to remind him that it was a tobacco joint. No, they tested it and came back as cannabis. Bye-bye.